iconodoulia. It's a fancy Greek term which just means the veneration of images. So the Bible's idea of images is what we have to look at here. So I can't give you an exhaustive explanation of this. There's a great explanation of this in Joseph Ratzinger's book, The Spirit of the Liturgy. If you're interested, it's here in the notes. I'll send this out to you guys from pages 115 to 135. It's the chapter called The Question of Images. So, God prohibited the worship of idols, as we see especially in the Old Testament, because he wanted Israel to understand that he was not just another pagan god in the universe, but the one God of the universe, right? Not another thing in the universe like Zeus or Athena or this statue or that bull or that goat or what have you. Not another thing in the universe, but the God above all things. And so it's precisely this distinction that made it possible for Christians to understand that when God became man, he didn't become a god among other gods in the pagan sense. Jesus isn't another Zeus, right? Rather, he became fully man without ceasing to be fully God of the universe and not a God in the universe. Thus, the Christian understanding of images differs from the Old Testament context of idolatry, right? So it's not one of competing gods, right? The images in the New Testament, but rather of the one God's presence among us through the image of Christ, of his Son who became flesh. Right? This is why God, in the incarnation of his Son, is making an image of himself for us so that we can come to know him, come into contact with him here and now. And so all Christian images and the veneration of images of Christ and of the body of Christ extended into the saints, right? Is an extension of the image that God has fashioned of himself, not that man has fashioned of a God. So there's a lot there. The conclusion that this is what the Second Council of Nicaea teaches in 787 AD about the veneration of images. As you can tell, there's a lot more there. If you want to learn more about this, go to Ratzinger's book, The Spirit of Liturgy, the chapter called The Question of Images.